leadership of Dr. Jaso Balejara. My name is J. Maxine Beaton, the usual producer and presenter of this program, Education at Midweek. Please stay tuned for the rest of the program.
It's through the power of education. We should stand together to make a difference in our nation, Liberia. Only education to move forward. Education. All educators. Education. Together stand for education. Education.
Of course, once again, we want to wholeheartedly invite all of you listening this morning, especially the students, education stakeholders throughout the Republic of Liberia. Good morning and welcome to your educational program, Education at Midweek. Education at Midweek is on ELBC every Wednesday, and conversation with the Ministry of Education is also on ELBC every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Once again, we wholeheartedly welcome you to this informative, educative, and a fascinating program on ELBC 99.9. Let's now get some of our information. Today's edition will be talking with parents regarding the hiking of graduation fees in the Republic of Liberia. People have been rushing at the Ministry of Education, giving us some complaints, and we will also open the line that you call and let us know who is in violation, and you call the school name, the location of the school, and give us the name of the school. We will appreciate that because this is no more business as usual. If Liberians are not educated, this country is doomed. We need to do everything possible to make sure that no child is left behind, especially the girls and the disadvantaged youth. We must also give them access to quality education. A nation that is not educated is doomed. So this morning we've come to just encourage, to motivate, to let you know, some of you, the school administrators, that are just overcharging graduation fees. This is unethical, unprofessional, unacceptable, and it's evil. We want you to stop that and go by the rules, regulations of the Ministry of Education. So first day today, we'll start with one proprietor of Watana School that is located in Dupro Road. Let's listen to him and hear what he have to say.
It is a school authority that are responsible to reprimand all schools that violate any act that contravene or go against those policies that have to do with wrongdoing. The ministry should be able to come down very high. Yes, the $100 is enough. The $100 is enough to be charged by private schools in terms of hosting a good graduation activities. Well, the public schools have been the sole sponsor of being sponsored by the government of the Republic of Liberia. The $5,000 is enough to be charged by all public schools. The public schools employer are the government of the Republic of Liberia, or is the government of the Republic of Liberia, and the government have the sole authority to discharge those who violate that in terms of principals and his code of officers on that post as principal and administrator of the public schools. Well, we operate at the graduations in this year, 2020. Full graduation will be exceptionally extraordinary, especially with the newly elected administrations. This graduation will raise a major white flag that we have rescued, and things will be better than what it has been in the past. Well, it is the schools are issue clearance. The authorities of the school should call a mass meeting, that is another round of PTA meeting in concern with the graduating class, to have a mass sections and to retrieve all of those clearance that was issued and have an adjustment made in terms of working within the range of the $100. My own message to the parents is to advise them not to have an extraordinary graduation activities. Currently, we are all going through extreme economic crisis in our country, and things are extremely difficult in terms of paying fees. Right after the graduation will be commencing the next academic year. So when they are spending, they should spend within their own range and spend thereafter in line of fostering and encouraging the children to go to the university of our country and other private universities.
Of course, that's the voice of Mr. Peters. He's the proprietor of Wetuna High School in Dupero, Painesville City. Let's get another parents that also came at the Ministry of Education with a complaint. Precisely, this one is Dr. Way. Dr. Benjamin Way is the president of the Principal Association, Republic of Liberia, and also member of the board. Let's listen to him.
So first thing I want to say thank you, Mr. Blinton, and I want to say thank you to those that will be listening to this interview. I have heard about the arbitrary increment of graduation fee, and let me firstly note that the issue of graduation fee inclusion in the calendar event for 2023-2024 saw us stakeholders sitting with the former Minister of Education and coming to a conclusion that every issues of graduation related to student diploma, related to student certificate, related to student transcript, and related to student recommendation letters can be done within $100. In fact, even below that amount. It was agreed in cross-section of our National Principal Association meetings that $100 were sufficient to cover graduation halls and every other preparation, because you are limited as a school to only provide diploma cover, certificate, letter of recommendation, and transcript. Any other pageantry that the students who want to get themselves involved with is outside of any administrative covering, and that is what was agreed, and that is what should be adhered to. I see a lot of schools writing the parents on their letterhead and indicating $200, $180. Let me make it clear. The issue of medal, the issue of gown, the issue of t-shirt, the issue of cap has nothing to do with school administration responsibility and should not be on the letterhead of any school. It is in violation. And let me indicate there are 5 things happening right now, and for those of us who have been around the education sector for some time, this government have said there will be no business as usual. Fellow principals, what we are doing is putting financial burden on students and family. Arbitrary increment in graduation fees place additional burden on students and their families, many of whom may already be struggling to meet the upcoming school academic year. Parents are worried now. Schools are opening in September. What is next? Also, the issue of equity and inclusivity is being undermined, as the less privileged students may likely not be able to graduate. And graduation is a time for pageantry, for these students to have fun after a long academic journey, setting some form of motivation for them to continue their education. Imagine, principals, if we are going to be denying the less privileged children from graduation and only seeing those who can afford their graduation fees to be in that line, those less privileged children will lack the motivation for continuing their education. They might blame their parents, they might drop out of school, they might become some of the disadvantaged children that we have today. Let us help the parents. We also would need to consider some ethical consideration. It is important for principals to uphold ethical standards and act in the best interest of students. Arbitrary increment in graduation fees may be perceived as exploitative and unfair, damaging the reputation of the school and eroding trust within the school community. We must maintain a positive school culture, because graduation ceremonies are milestone events in students' academic journey and should be a time of celebration and pride. And that is undermined by arbitrary increment in graduation fees, which overshadow the celebration atmosphere and create a sense of resentment among students and families. We must prioritize education over profit. IBT. We must prioritize education over profit. These students have gone to school for over a number of years, especially those coming from K2 and those that will be coming from 12th grade. We must sit together and work together. And I think $100 for private schools, $5,000 for public schools is enough to cover graduation expenses. As the president of the Principal Association, I understand that we may not have the power to take actions, but what I do know is that we have ethical issues that we can hold each other accountable for. And I believe that we are going to work to support this government, whatever is needed when it comes to the amendment of the graduation fee. If that is something that every member of the Principal Association want, we can call for that in the next, the preparation of the next calendar of events. But when we do so, let us be able to abide by this so that we are not saying always doing graduation as against the parents, against the government, against society. It is a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that this will send a message that will end this cycle of arbitrary increment in graduation fees across the country. Again, when I listened to the Minister of Education the other day, we should all understand the issue of private sector and public sector, considering that 70% of the schools in this country are private. And I think what she was saying was, if we are able to set the standards in public schools, there will be no need for us to be forced in private schools and all of that. That was a very brilliant thing to say. And I hope the public schools will set the standards in the graduation fees and student graduating in their uniform. I mean, the thing is clear. You don't want unnecessary burden on you as a school. You don't want to deny the parents that opportunity to send their children to your school the next year. And all of these little things we do make parents to take their children from our schools. And you know, without students, your school will not survive. And again, all of those things are meant for profiteering. It is so beautiful to see those students walking in their uniform, and maybe you just do a side for them, 20 class of this, and just to distinguish them from on their graduation day. If your school got a gown, fine, but you don't have it. Why are you trying to impose something that may fake in the first place? The gowns are not yours. The gown belong to another school. You go and rent it only for a day and empower the other school to get more gowns. You should start getting projects to keep some of your profit to do your gowns for your students if you want to do so. So the issue of imposing dress codes and charging extra for them, I think it needs to stop, and school administrators need to be strategic in planning for their graduation, even from the day they open school, 2024-2025.
Could you kindly comment on the dinner party and the class night that parents have been constrained also to allow their children to go out at night? Sometimes they end up in drinking, and some of them they sleep out. You being the president, what comment have you got the children too, to curtail this attitude?
And to answer that, I will go strictly to the parents, because I must admit, parents have the tendency to most of the time not have control over their children. And I must be very clear, parents during the school year don't even attend PTA meetings. And look, this is a cycle that should not only stop with the principals of schools. Look, Blayton, when we call for PTA meetings, let parents attend PTA meetings. It will amaze you to know that most of the decisions you're talking about, dinner and class party, that students made those decisions. You call parents for meetings concerning graduation, they will not turn up. You call parents for meeting concerning their children's graduation, they will not turn up. So you see, most of those issues come from the students. My point I will always say is, the school administrator who is in charge of his school should ensure that every information going out should not be on his letterhead. I've seen people writing and these things and writing it on the school letterhead. What has dinner got to do with your school? And then you passing the information on your letterhead. Students, let me say this. In all parts of the world, students can get together, they form their committees and have their parties. Even at that, administration has a say where and how they have the party because of control, because of the way students behave, alcohol and the rest of it. But to go to the extent of endorsing dinner night, which is almost extra than the graduation fee, are these students finishing with their PhD? What are we doing to them? What are we doing to them? Look, we must even, I am proposing that those students who will even pass wire with honor, schools are able to honor them in such a way that distinguish them from their colleagues. These are things we must start thinking on to make our students become merit-based. And not all of them are going to fail. Some schools, to the extent they will allow students who fail to wear the same gowns as the other students. We are creating an unmerited system because of little change that we have. And when those very students graduate, they are the ones who will start to disdain the very school they graduated from. Look at that school. Remember, those students are graduating today. In 3 years, they will become parents. What they went through in your school, they will likely not want to send their children to your school because of the exploitation and the harassment and the financial intimidation that we carry out. So you have to think in the future. These students are your children. Take them to be your children. What happens if you send your child to school and you know how much you make as a principal or as a parent, and they are charged $200? Can you tell me that you will be probably walking to that school with that amount? Why are we doing it unto others that which cannot be done unto us? Unless we are able to follow these simple biblical practices, not just biblical, even the Quran says do unto others. If we don't do this, if we don't think beyond the profit, we are damaging not just the future of our school, but the future of the system. And I think beyond this issue of including these things in the calendar of events, my recommendation is moving forward, schools that will consistently violate these policies that we all agree on, they should pay the wire fee for their students. They should pay their students' own wire fees because it is the government of Liberia who is responsible to pay all 12 graders' fees. And if you decide to be not compliant, you are saying to the very government that is saying, look, we are trying to alleviate the burden on our students, and you are increasing it. So in that case, it means your parents got money. Your students got money. Let them pay for their own graduate wire fees, and they will be excluded from the government payment. There must be penalties associated with some of these violations, and the only way the government can do that is not only the wire fees, then also start. The issue of deleting name, you'll be affecting students. It will take a long time. But if the government of Liberia is giving textbooks and schools are violating, they will not receive the textbook. If they are paying wire fee, they will not receive the wire fees. The government should start thinking about some kind of little subsidy packages, maybe cartons of sheets, and all of that for compliant schools. In that case, we are glad to be obedient always, and not only rely on graduation fees to be able to renovate our schools and buy stationery for the following year. You see, again, the running of education in the kind of private sector dominant society that we have, unlike the Anglophone or Anglophone West African country, where government take charge of almost every school, is different. Liberia is so much a special case that more than 70% of the education of its citizens lies within the hands of the private sector. To get rid of that is not usually through the forceful policy making and all of that. And that's why I appreciate the manner and fashion in which the government, the previous government, was able to work with stakeholders to be able to reach to this point. We are hopeful that the current government will continuously work with stakeholders so that we are able to see this together. Because more or less, they say, put your mouth to where your money is. If you are not supporting us, in the issue of teacher salary for the sciences, for example, textbooks, for example, the textbooks that were brought, it was only given to public schools, and we need our children to pass the way. So all of these, they are cross-cutting issues that we all need to sit on the table. It is not right for students to be the one helping in doing that, but I want you to understand that every private sector institution, not just in Liberia, but across the world, rely on the fees and contributions from all of these to be able to sustain the school and be able to bring it up to standard. Well, again, I think there are laws on the book that the ministry can invoke in terms of fines. It has been done before with several schools, and those schools pay the fine. We hope there will not be the kind of, I know they say black cat or white cat, where some schools do it, and then nothing happens to them, and then they go after the smaller schools that have no power. Is to cut across from up down, whether it's a lawmaker school or it's a minister school or it's a superintendent school. Whoever has a school and is overcharging, I believe the ministry should start with those exemplary schools of people who should obey the law. And even if it is the bigger one, the smaller one, it should cut across, and the fines should be implied on them without any discrimination. And we as an association will stand by those fines if it is known that those schools arbitrarily increase their fees without the requisite internal processes that are supposed to be done.
Of course, the voice of Dr. Benjamin Way. He is the president of the Principal Association and Private Schools Owners in the Republic of Liberia, speaking in support of the Ministry of Education guidelines regarding the $100 for graduation fees in the Republic of Liberia, standing with the Ministry of Education. And he said, this is my support for the Ministry of Education. With that, we have some parents who walk under the rain and came at the Ministry of Education yesterday, and their spokesperson was one Amos Cody. He has this to tell us yesterday at the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, but I do you one morning. I'm wet because something happening a very painful. Now my one, you see, I came along with three ladies, including one gentleman. I made them 5. We came specially to, I did not know who they call Martin Blayton, but I came here, Mr. Blayton, because this is my first time to see you. To be frank, I've been hearing your voice over air on Sunday, on Wednesday. I must appreciate that. You're very doing well. So we came here purposely. May God be with you for that, because when He gives you information brings peace and brings and dissemination to everybody. Now we came purposely to you so you can do something for our children. I have 7 children. 5 in the private school and 2 in the public school. And every one of them in 12th grade. Wow. My people, things are not fine. I am not doing nothing extra for me to earn money. So I came to your office, as I said earlier, that I did not know you from nowhere, but I've been hearing your voice over air Wednesday and Sunday. So we've been following it in my yard. But the problem here now is my children that in the SDA school, 5% SDA, here at the Junction, and they are charging $185 each for graduation fees. And I read the information that the Ministry of Education sent across the board, that $100 for the graduation fees. And then they are charging $185. Even my 5 children, for me to pay the $500, that war already. My aunt that calling on, she can help me. She said I am a liar. because she read the Ministry of Education information, and I telling her, they say, oh, 185 for one student. Oh, she said, no, you lie. Because Education Minister said $100. And the 5 children that are in the private school plus the 2 that are in the government school, when you put their money together, that 500 plus 10,000. But I have the reliable information in my possession, including those 4. We came along with a proof to submit to the Education Ministry that those parents, they are honor money your job. Mr. Martin Baton, as I said earlier, that this is Vivian So, this is So. We came purposely, I am the spokesperson, we came purposely to appeal to your humble office. We came here, we were so, even the security does not want to allow to enter your office, but it was so good when you came outside, you met her, you say, who are those people that had the security? They say they came to you. And I thank God that you gave us the privilege. We are in your office, or the air condition is not easy because we already soak, and your office is a ground floor. So we came here purposely for the Education Ministry to do something.
So what you want us to do?
The Education Ministry to suspend the permit of those people that carry the graduation fee up.
Suspend who now?
Suspend the FDA. In fact, not even FDA alone. The FDA school. So they can suspend them because of the hacking of this and the graduation fees. So I want to appeal to the Education Ministry to do it right, because this government, it came on based on our rescue. And our rescue, while you are adding extra 85, I mean that you are undermining the work of the government. Even Mr. Martin Blatter, I just told you I never see you before. This is my first time to see you. But the only time is, why is it that when you send the information, we follow it? That is why I told my people, I say, let's go to that ministry so we can meet the man. So this is the reason we came here today. The public school, 5,000, they are adding it up to 7,005. And people, your plea come to our aid before something else can happen. Somebody who wanted to help the person deny me now because the person say I am a liar. The Education Minister said this, and I telling them this. I sent them all the information. They said they didn't believe it. So right now I don't know what to do. Number one.
Yeah, I understand. Now you're one and you are soaked today. So people who are on money or overcharging, what do you want the ministry to do?
The thing is simple. You are overcharging, you are undermining the government. And the minister represent the government. I'm recommending for them to be closed down, or they revoke their permit and to be fined.
So how much you want us to fund those schools with?
If it leave with my view, 4 to 5 million.
Where you get that kind of money?
If you know you don't have that kind of money, then don't overcharge. Don't undermine the government. Because the government say $100. Don't add 85 or don't add 2,005 to the 5,000. So from the private school, the 85 you add in there, you are undermining the government. From the public school, 7,005, the 2,005 you add in there, you are undermining the government. So my recommendation, the private school should be found. The public school should be sacked.
When you say should be sacked, what I mean the principal should be sacked?
From the principal all the way to the last person.
Your job business hard like this?
Chief, if you know that your business is hard, you will maintain your sanity by keeping the rules and regulations of the government that employ you, so you can do the rightful thing. Not for you to undermine the government. Why are you working in the government?
So what's about the private school? You say more charging how much?
The private school, I say, at my view, 4 to 5 million USD.
Where they will get the money from?
They will look for it.
How they will look for it? They cannot die.
How they know that they cannot attack her, then they are overcharging you. They know very well that they start hard and they are overcharging. Why the Minister of Education say we should pay $100 and they are overcharging on $185.
Okay. So what your final message to the ministry?
I want to thank God. I want to thank God for everything that the ministry should help to put their feet down so they can do the rightful thing. The private school and the public school, they can do the rightful thing. Those are overcharging people. Let them fund them over even when that 10 million so they can pay to the public school. Let them be sacked.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Again, I am Amos K. Yababulo.
Okay. Amos, thank you very much.
Of course, Amos Yabauro is the spokesperson of the aggrieved parents that visited the Ministry of Education yesterday on the ring. And it was in a very desperate mood just to talk about this graduation fees. School administrators, I hope you're listening. I hope you see yourself in those people. If you have 7 living children in 12th grade and you're charging them over 100 United States dollars, listen to the parent, listen to the father. They were all soaked wet yesterday, and I entertained them in my office, and I wanted the public to know what they came at the ministry. Because if you tell some people, they say, oh, well, the people never spoke. They spoke and they called their name, and the recording is here, and they said they have document in a projection. This is the program, Education at Midweek. This is where we give you factual, accurate, and credible information from the Ministry of Education. This is the Ministry of Education Midweek edition. Please stay tuned. Yesterday, one of our seasoned educators also visited the Ministry of Education Communication Division, and he was very angry with those who are overcharging the graduation fees. And this is what he had to say yesterday. His name is Honorable Jackson. He was a former assistant minister for teacher education at the Ministry of Education. Honorable Moses Jackson. This is what he had to say yesterday.
Students will go home and have their little parties. The parents will have, festive times with them. So why should they pay you after they are paying school fees? Then you take money from there again and look for money for party. They should not even pay. The students should not even pay for graduation. How do you want to use a graduation fee after we paying school fees? Then after a graduation fee again?
So what's your argument right now? Are you saying that the graduation should be free of charge?
Is the ministry getting any money from the graduation fees?
No.
Exactly. So there should be no graduation fees. The students have already paid tuition. The child has paid way to go to school every day. What lunch, books, cabinet books, going through all of that. The child is finished.
The school about to open again.
About to open. So the people who are coming, they will pay activity fees, library fees, breakfast fee, all of that. It shouldn't be upon the people who are living. They collect graduation fee and they share among themselves, whereby we have already paid tuition. So graduation fees should be scrapped. I don't have the authority for
so graduation fees is supposed to be part of the activity fee.
Exactly.
Because graduation is activity.
It is an activity. Now you see exactly what I'm saying. You charge library fee, you charge breakfast fee, the child does not break anything. Sometimes no books in the library at all.
Computer
no computer. Then you come again, you charge this. It's complete exploitation.
Then you go overboard again.
That is what we call pedagogy of the oppressed. The students are the oppressed. And we, the education managers, we are the oppressors. We dictate to them at the detriment of their convenience, their pleasure, and their comfort. They don't have anything to say because they are mere students. The parents cannot say anything because we are education leaders. So it is a pedagogy of the oppressed. If you have a school, you have an auditorium. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
You can have 3 rooms to say it's a school. Every school must have an auditorium. And the students should have the activities in the auditorium. You can have school, then time of graduation, you go rent church. Then it's on you.
In our school.
Then that's your business. Then you should not charge a student anything. You can charge tuition, you can charge graduation fee there. Government school charging graduation fee for what? Then after paying all the school fees, at the end when you got to rejoice at home, then you got to go and satisfy the inept school owners, people who know nothing about education. They are railroaders, they are wanderers in our profession, they can derail the profession, then we pay them again. Then they double dip, they eat 2 times, they eat 2 times. They don't even teach anything. Some of them don't even teach because the student when they go to why they fail, then you want graduation fees. Of course, because if you do dance, then the parents have to look for money again to go borrow gowns, sew gowns, and clean gowns and all of that. Look, the poverty rate in this country is affecting education already. So we should minimize the pressure on the parents. And then you make the young female vulnerable. Now all of our friends are buying their gowns. She can't afford not to buy a gown because peer pressure. Then she goes, she does something wrong. So they will start to talk. So all of those things we need here. I thank God the education minister we have now, Amos Foley, is also an educator. We have put at Cisco. Those are our educators. Those are people who pass through my fingers. Besides the minister himself. What I'm saying is that right now I am satisfied with the caliber of people who are at the ministry now. Frankly speaking, I'm satisfied. Those are people who have credentials in education. First of all, every teacher should be able to scaffold.
Scaffold. I want jargon. Let's go.
Scaffold so that a student can reach his or her maximum development.
Okay.
So if the man did not know something, you have to push him, support him till he knows it. You teach fraction, division of fraction, addition of fraction, may facing addition. You say you fail. You have to make sure you understand addition before you start to teach multiplication. But the teacher, some teacher even want to student to fail, so they can start giving tests. The other thing is you must know how to differentiate your teaching. Differentiate your teaching because the way Maxim Peter learns is not the way Moses Johnson learns. Everybody got their own style of learning. So you just go your one way, you get notes, you get quiz, you get that, you love to the student, you take money, that's your way. You get differentiate, you don't have to student class.
Okay, so what is the next step?
The next step is you should understand the perceptual styles of students.
What?
The perceptual styles of students.
What does it mean?
The way you perceive information or an object is not the same way I perceive it. Some students, they are auditory. When you talk, they will hear. Some are visual. When you draw on the board, you will see it. Some are tactile, you gotta touch it. And so you gotta know that you have one of those students in the class, so you adjust your teaching so that all of them can learn. You see as that going one way. And you have to know something they call cognition, or knowing what you know. Cognition is to know. Cognitive assessment. So those are, I could go on and on because I told you I'm a veteran educator. I'm also an education engineer. I am now an education administrator. The engineer is an administrator, curriculum specialist, training specialist. I am an education engineer in every sense of the word. I am saying at this point, or the ministry, I will talk to the ministry first. Why I know the minister being an educator, she means well, but they must follow. So they should promulgate a policy whereby graduation fees will be scrapped or minimized to the lowest, so that it can impede on the.
So the $100 is too much.
It is too much. The
People are already overcharging the $100.
That's what I'm saying. I said, okay, the man's a policeman. He got his dollar in profit. The man makes 125 US. Now what he makes? So you take speed now. The other children will not eat. You won't buy the rest. Then you charge him. You do more power whole salary. per whole salary at 125, then you're charging 100. So you gotta look at the poverty rate in this country and start to charge low. You gotta be very minimum. If you say $10, just about the matter fund, but graduation fees should be erased. A minister should, maybe it may not happen now, but subsequent graduations. We shouldn't have graduation fees because people are already paid tuition. Education managers, rather, we are the oppressors, and the students are the oppressed. That is the pedagogy of the oppressed.
So what's about the school administrators that still overcharging? Even when the ministry say $100 should be the highest, they are charging 150, 180, 200.
You find them.
How much you will suggest?
No, you multiply no students. If they have 100 students graduating,
yes,
they charge 100. You multiply 100 times 100, and you take 75% of it. You will not do it again.
You didn't go.
You 100 times 100. You multiply it. Then that particular money, you took up 75% for the ministry. Then you get it back. They won't do it again.
So you mean they should be penalized?
They should pay us. Yeah, that should be a fine. Not revoke them, close them down.
Oh, you say what?
Close those schools down. A school that was steal from students is not a general school. Close it down. The minister will tell you something. The minister of education, she will say charge 100. Then you go and charge 125, you close down. Because you are disrespectful, you are rude, you are insolent, you are unprofessional, you don't deserve being in school now. Close down.
Your name again?
I am Dr. M. Blonganti Jackson, education engineer.
Of course. Wow. Wonderful voices you will listen to on the program, Education at Midweek. We will now take some calls. Of course, we take it down note. There are a lot of messages coming. Very, very powerful messages. And of course, I have a message here from the Catholic school system. The Catholic school system is saying we're charging only $15 US for graduation for K2. And our graduation fees will not even reach near $90. All school learn to be like the Catholic school for the Vave side. Now you imagine that. Now, I mean, the Catholic school charging $15 for K2 graduation. Other people charging $50, $75. What's wrong with this country? Catholic school, that the original school too. The minister graduated from St. Marcus. I graduated from St. Mary's. So you see, the Catholic school producing people in this country, and the Catholic school charging $15 for graduation for kindergarten. Other schools are charging more than $50. Look at the margin. Look at the margin. Father Vave told me later on he will send me how much the senior high school will be charging for senior high graduation, and they are waiting for the result before they even venture in that area. All schools now send out clearance already. Why are we treating education like this? Now that will be the line 0777-212197. Call and let us hear you. What do you think about the graduation fees that have been hiking by some school administrators in the Republic of Liberia? Let's do it together. Let's fix our education system. Let's rescue our education system. No more business as usual. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Tagmabra.
Let's hear you.
Thank you. I want to be grateful to the Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for me, I have 2 children attending Moloti in Broadview. Go to Brown School. And they charge $180.
For what?
For graduation fee. I have 2 children there.
You get a citation in your hand, you get a letter with you?
That is done on the information sheet. But then send them the government came with a new money. I'm not going back to the school because I'm still looking for the graduation fee.
You're not new mandate, like ever since before the school opened, August 1, 2023. At the time we gave the instruction, all schools in this country, 12 graders, graduation fee 100, not more than 100 in private school. In public school, 5,000.
So what I want for the minute, I want you to do, I need to give a number because the day I put to pay that money, if they tell me say I have to pay the $180, still ready for.
Very good. Thank you. The number is 0777 21 21 97. Or send a text to it. Thank you. You also go on the WhatsApp. Well, let's help to face the education system. Education is everybody's business. Let's take this one quick and let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from the SB Copper Road.
You heard the voices of parents, school administrators, and what's your own view about that? Are you in line with them or you're against them?
The school system, you put need to send in your throat. Let me say it in like brain way.
You say we must do what?
You must stay in your throat. That the only way they will find it difficult to swallow you, and then they will do the right thing. You understand that?
That's
You're talking about graduation fee. The people will go buy that Chinese fries too for $10 and bring their selling to the students for $40. If you want open booty and forget for school. Now one of the things you need to speak on, and they'll compare the parents to pay for it.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, so you sell it for $40, you buy the thing $10, and some of the school, like one school to the junction.
How they call it?
They go to that in their choice school, there's only money they go say people must pay tax. And that cheating money they're collecting, they will not pay tax.
How they call the school?
Very corrupt.
How they call the school?
The church, I think, right by the harvest, they normally win it by the supermarket, the harvest supermarket.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that one of the things on the uniform,
Thank you. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, you get 5 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah Small. I'm from the Mizo community.
Let's hear you.
Okay, there's the only thing that I found. But you know the problem with the ministry 4 times?
What's the problem? We're talking about finding solution now.
Yeah, the problem is...
Every day the problem, we're trying to find solution.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you say this thing...
All right, you already off. Now I don't want to put you off. You put yourself off. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what can we do to solve the problem? What are we talking about?
It is the program Midweek Education.
Education at Midweek.
Okay, Education at Midweek. My name is George from Vanjama.
Vanjama, very good. Let's hear you.
I want to say thank you for this program. Even though the ministry is doing well by providing information to the public.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I'm actually disappointed with the ministry is that since the past 6 years, the ministry has been coming up with a guideline when it comes to the graduation. But most often parents complain, and the ministry cannot come up to say this school is far, or this school is far, or this school is far, or either to go in the field to do monitoring. And it is giving we the parents very hard time.
Okay.
Can you imagine the ministry says private school $100, but other schools are charging more than $100. If you have 2 or 3 students to be graduated, you know what you're going to spend point of view on parents? The ministry have to get on your feet, please.
Now the issue here is listen. When we give you the information, you the parent do not compromise the information. Tell the school administrator this is what the Ministry of Education said, and this is what we will stand by. So
yeah, that's parents are not compromising. The parents always.
Okay, let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How do you do? Your name and where you calling from, please?
I'm Brother John Winnie.
Yes.
I called from the Blossom Hill this morning at my business center.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, as in the government, education is stand by it. Now the government is coming out to say graduation fee for the public school to be 5,000, and the private school not less than 100,000.
No, not more than $100.
We are seeing some private schools are charging $200 US, some are charging $180 US, some are charging $150 US. So now the government come with a regulation now. Every public school to pay 1,000 to pay not less than $100. But these institutions are violating the government regulation. I don't know why the government doing. We didn't think that for private school to control the government or the government control over the private school. So
Okay.
talking about the government to shut down the school. To have people to the others that will want to set the things up. If the government line is taking God to lie, then the private school all will run on the government. So it's time for the government to put their feet down high.
Thank you.
That we have laws that govern the country. So the country is not run by all our people. So they can come out with it minute and making education, they should stand by it. The 5,000 LDs should be for graduation fee for public school. For the private school, send the government and come out and say, they should stand by it.
All right.
So
Thank
those
you.
who will not
Thank you.
go by the government, they should shut down the school and find them.
Thank you. Let's take this one. I think you the last caller right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you.
Divine Bar is my name. I'm calling from Morovia, Panazi.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my I actually want to express.
Let's go ahead, my brother. You get 30 seconds.
Study school in Gab, Country.
What is school mean?
Early Learning Foundation Daycare School.
Early learning. Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, read by the Magister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just sent information to me concerning our graduation, and then I did certify with the fees.
How much?
They charging $45.
Oh, like K2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get that. We'll get that in later on. Hello?
Hello.
Let's hear you quick.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm Mr. PC Kamara.
Let's hear you.
Hello.
You are live.
Okay. My point here is let the Ministry of Education. Let the Ministry of Education have a memo written signed by the minister. Memo signed and compared by all.
Thank you. We've done that over and again and stipulated it in the academic calendar that people who just don't want to follow the regulation of the Ministry of Education, and we are working with our stakeholders, especially the president of the Principal Association, Dr. Benjamin White. I want to say congratulations to all of you for your input this morning, and those of you that play your listening role, we want to say thank you so much. The invitation is yours to kind of join us this coming Sunday for another fresh edition of the program, Conversation with the Ministry of Education, and on Wednesday for Midweek. Education at Midweek. Don't forget tomorrow, the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Male Jala, will be at Niga. She will be there tomorrow to speak to the Liberian people about education, the state of education in the Republic of Liberia. The public is invited. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is J. Maxine.